Good afternoon and happy Sunday. This is such an awesome event. Tonight we are celebrating unsung heroes that are actually out in the niches of our community making a difference. We had 10 unsung heroes tonight, and we are excited to be able to honor them for the work that's being done. We had millions of hours that have been performed, and also millions of dollars that we have saved the city, saved the state by working for free. So tonight, we are excited to have been here. We had lots of things going on. We were happy to have Judge John Michael Guidry as our speaker, and he encouraged us to continue working in our community to make a difference. No amount time is too small. We need your help, and you should get busy making a difference in your community. Remember to call 311 when things are not going right, and in 30 days, if it's not done, call your council person or your representative, because it's time to clean our city up. And these unsung heroes have shown us how it can be done.
At this time, we would like to start with an opening prayer and a blessing of the meal. Dear Lord, how we thank you now for this precious fellowship, so that we can see how good and pleasant it is when brethren can gather together in Christian unity. So we thank you for this fellowship. We thank you for these lives of service that we recognize this evening. Father God, we ask that you would bless the food, those who prepared it and those of us who will receive it. Let it be strength to our bodies so that we might use it for all good works. We ask all these blessings in the name which is above every name, in the precious name of Jesus the Christ. Amen.
Good afternoon. And I say again, good afternoon. My name is Ebony Galloway, and I will be your MC for the afternoon. I hope you're enjoying your salads, but as you're enjoying your salads, I want to give you just a little bit of what I've researched and how I think I should best address the crowd today. So, unsung heroes, what is that? What does that mean? This event, and why we thought that this event was a fantastic event, really stemmed from having an opportunity to really recognize the individuals in the community that go over and beyond, but they're rarely recognized. Most times, individuals in their independent nonprofits, churches, and their community organizations know exactly who those people are. But oftentimes, the city and even the state, we have no idea who those individuals are. We may not read them in the local paper, and we may not see them on the local news channel, but they are exactly what we see as what is necessary and needed in this particular state and city to make it move forward in the direction that we would like it to go. And that's a positive direction. So as I thought through exactly what those individuals probably bring to the table or probably undergo just as they're beginning to determine how they want to move about and make a change in their community, I came across a Forbes article. And the article mainly was about how to empower people that work for you, how to empower or unleash the power of the people who you employ. But I found that in that article, it spoke a lot about what I've seen growing up in terms of what's necessary and the challenges that you go through when you want to have that impact. So the first thing most of the leaders do is get the word out, right? So you see there's a problem in your neighborhood, you see there's a problem in the community, you see there's a problem in the church, and you want to get the word out. You want to tell somebody, right? I can't believe this grass is grown up. Am I right? Will we agree? I can't believe the kids don't have uniforms. Yeah? I can't believe they don't have school supplies. I can't believe there's nothing for them to do during the summer. And once you get the word out, that's the buy-in, right? That's the buy-in. That gives you your support system, right? So you start to create your team, your sense of community, but on a smaller scale. Once we get the word out, we start putting tools in place, right? So there's words and then there's action, right? So once you have your community and you start to get those individuals together, then you start to say, what do I need to make this happen? Where am I going to get the money for the school supplies? Who am I going to ask to help me cut the lawn? If it's a cleanup activity, who's going to help me do that? So once you do that and you realize what you need to do and what tools are necessary, then you're honest about your challenges. And that's something that a lot of us have a problem with, and that's usually where the most people will walk away and say, you know what, this might be more than I signed up for. And that is actually being honest, that it is very difficult to be the pillar in the community that makes a difference, right? Because it's hard to get people on board. It's even harder to find out what tools and resources are out there. So then you have that moment where you have to face the challenge and say, oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into? But the good thing about that, and luckily, the next step is typically somebody helps to educate you, right? So that's your council person, that's a person in the neighborhood who's done it before you, a person in your church who may know a little bit about it, or they may know somebody who knows someone else who's looking for an opportunity to give. And that's usually the part where we get a little bit revived and encouraged to keep going. And the last thing we do is think happy, right? So we're excited after that. We have our resources, we've gathered our school supplies, we have lawnmowers, or we have a funding or a grant has been approved. And that's usually the thing that keeps us going, that makes it worth our while. And that's typically the 5 steps that I saw in the process of actually becoming that unsung hero. So oftentimes we think unsung heroes may be the little old lady in the neighborhood who sells the Dixie cups and then takes the money and buys school supplies, right? And we say, I wonder if that's it. But it's not. You are exactly right. She is an unsung hero, but unsung heroes can come in any way, form, or fashion. And whether you're being recognized as an unsung hero tonight or not, I'm sure there is something, at least one thing you've done this year to make yourself an unsung hero. Give yourself a hand. At this time, we will have the introduction of the speaker by Bailey Monet Galloway.
Good afternoon. My name is Bailey Monet Galloway, and today I have the privilege of introducing the Speaker of the Hour, the Honorable John Michael Guidry. Judge Guidry is married to Carol Fowler. Together they have 2 children, John Morgan and Kennedy Mitchell. Judge Guidry is a 1980 graduate of McKinley Senior High School and a 1984 graduate of LSU. In 1987, he graduated cum laude from Southern University Law School. Judge Guidry also formerly served as an assistant to the Honorable Joseph A. and served as an assistant clerk of Louisiana House of Representatives. Since 1988, Judge Guidry has served as an adjunct professor at Southern University Law Center and now continues his legacy as one of the most well-known judges in the state of Louisiana. Judge Guidry has been a pillar in our community for quite some time and a dear friend to this organization. He is a man of God, a family man, and a man whose core values exemplify the power of people who can help define a community. I would like to personally and publicly thank Judge John Michael Guidry for continuing to support Community Against Drugs and Violence and our amazing community of Scotlandville. Now at this time, please help me welcome our Speaker of the Hour, the Honorable Judge John Michael Guidry.
She renews my hope that we are in good hands. How articulate and poised the best and brightest hope that we have for the future. God bless you, young lady. Grace and peace to you all from God the Father and from the Lord Jesus Christ. My heart is glad this night to come back and be with Cadav. It was about 26 years ago as a young state senator that our precious Cadav came into being. It came into being because there were individuals who were concerned. They were concerned about drug violence. They were concerned about blight. They were concerned about the proliferation of drugs in the community. And there was a precious soul by the name of Sadie Roberts Joseph, who along with Pat LaDuff and others put their hand to the wheel, began the good work. We're thankful tonight for those who planted and for those who have watered through these 26 years. But most of all, we are thankful to a mighty God who has given for 26 years the increase. So we come tonight to this time and place to give honor to whom honor is due. And these 10 recipients are worthy of double honor. They are the greatest in our community. Jesus gave us a new definition of greatness. And in the 10th chapter of the gospel, as recorded by St. Mark, around about the 35th verse, you will find these words. And James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came unto the master, saying, we would that thou shouldest do for us whatsoever we shall desire. They said, let us sit one on thy right hand and the other on thy left hand in thy glory. Jesus said, ye know not what you ask. Can you drink of the baptism? Can you drink of the drink that I drink of and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? And they said, we can. And Jesus said, ye shall indeed drink of the cup that I drink of. And with the baptism that I am baptized with, all shall ye be baptized. But to sit on my right hand and on my left hand is not mine to give, for it belongs to those who are prepared. And then he goes on to say that so shall it not be among you, but he that is great among you shall be your minister, your servant, and he that is chiefest among you shall be servant of all. And it is through that definition of greatness that our honorees deserve honor. Dr. King put it this way: we can all be great because we can all serve. And so we honor them tonight. We honor them for their sacrificial service. We honor them because they have given themselves away so that God could use them to make of our community a better place, that they could be light in the darkness. They who have worked in the coldness of the shadows, while others try to get the sunshine on their face. But these heroes, they weren't waiting on committee meetings, and they didn't need strategy sessions, and they didn't need all of the bright lights. They just saw what needed to be done, and they just did it. They just poured themselves out, their time, their talent, their resources.
they were willing vessels. They recognized that we shall pass this way but once. And if there's any good thing that we could do, we ought to do it while we have time. So they have worked the work. They have worked the work of he who has sent them while it is day, knowing that night cometh when no man can work. And so we say to them today, as a community, we greatly appreciate all that you have given. Didn't do it to get elected, didn't do it to get appointed, but it was the anointing on your lives that have made the difference. Didn't get all the credit because you are the type of servant leaders who know that it doesn't matter who gets the credit as long as the work is done, because God himself will do the rewarding at the setting of the sun. But right here at this hour, the God who has watched you doing your work in secret is using this organization to reward you openly, because you have humbled yourself under the mighty hand of God in this due season. In this due season, he is exalting you. Yes, tonight is your night. This is your hour. This is your season for grace and for favor. Tonight is a time that you get to reap what you have sown. It is your time. And that's why family members, that's why church members, that's why neighbors, that's why our corporate citizenry, that's why nonprofits are here tonight, because we appreciate what you have done for this community. And we don't want you to grow weary in your well-doing. For there's still work that is yet to be done. There are still homeless and hungry and drug-ravaged individuals in our community. There are people who are dying because of poverty and hunger and HIV/AIDS. There's much work that is still yet to be done. Keep feeling the need to continue the work. Be ye steadfast and unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. And inasmuch as you know your labor in Christ shall not be in vain. Oh, I recognize you. You're that neighbor who built their house on the side of the road so that they could be the friend of man. You're like that Shunammite woman. You're like that neighbor that Jesus talked about in the parable, who, when they heard a knock at midnight, they were comfortable in bed, but they got out of their comfort zone and they gave them enough bread to tide them over until the morn. You are that Good Samaritan. For when the priest and the Levite were going on the other side, you stopped in your community to give aid, to give comfort, to help somebody along the way. And oh Lord, if I can just help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or song, then my living shall not be in vain. You've done your duty as a Christian ought. Our honorees, through their action, have spread love's message as the Master taught. They have brought back beauty to a community gone wrought. And that's why we want them to know tonight that their living has not been in vain. And then finally, when it gets tough, when folks don't appreciate you, somebody might laugh at you because you're giving so much of your time and of your resources and your heartfelt compassion. Just keep doing the work. And if you keep doing the work, these awards you receive tonight is just a glimpse of the glory that awaits you. For eyes have not seen, nor have ears heard, nor has it entered into the hearts of men the good things that God still has in store for you. Keep serving, keep giving, keep loving, keep caring, keep lifting our community up. Keep using your minute in time. For that's all we have. We have only just a minute. It has merely 60 seconds in it. It was forced upon you. You couldn't refuse it. You just couldn't help yourself but to help others. You couldn't refuse it. But our community would have suffered if you were to lose it. You would have had to give account if you were to abuse it. You gave so much of your time in this minute, and I'm thankful that through all of your service, you have shown up. You've shown up in it. You are our heroes. You're all that we could hope to be. And tonight, this community flies higher than any eagle because you have been the unsung heroes beneath our wings. Thank you. God bless you. Keep up the good work.
Wasn't that amazing? Every time I look like I want to give up, somebody comes along and lift me back up again. So thank you so much. This is so awesome because the people that are volunteering, we really are the wind beneath the wings of other folk. That is so true for what we do in this community. So on behalf of Cadav and also the Honorable Regina A. Barra, we have an award for you as well, because you are also our unsung hero. You did start with us 27 years ago, picking up trash in the rain. We never cancel a cleanup. We clean up in the rain, and we don't cancel any events. So if it rains, I just want to share this with you guys, and my daughter's going to say, Mommy, you're talking too much. But I wish the guy from Breck was here, because you want to do everything that lifts up the name of Jesus, right? So we were having our Juneteenth celebration, and he says, Pat, we got to get out of here now because it's getting ready to rain. I said, no, it's not going to rain. It's not going to rain. He said, yeah, look right here on my phone. It's going to rain. It's going to rain. And I said, it's not going to rain here. So I want you to know on 72nd Avenue, where we have our Juneteenth celebration, we watched the cloud go across the park and pour down in Baker. And I kid you not, I live on 70th, 2 streets over, and it was pouring down at my house, but it was not raining in the Scotlandville Park. So God is good, and he'll give you what you need. So thank you so much. Judge Gidger, we also have one from the governor. We have one from Mayor Cher Weston Broom, and then we have one from Cadav. Okay, so we are back into the swing of things again. I would like to welcome Dominique Parker to join us with her mom. So the mayor's office is actually doing a program where they're hiring young people to work and they get a stipend. And so what we decided to do is take advantage of that. And so we have Miss Dominique, who did summer camp, and she's a summer camp junior counselor for Cadav. So she applied, and then we kept up with her time, and she had to sign in and report back to us every 2 weeks how things were going. And so with that, we would like to present to her her $500 check for doing such a great job in her summer engagement. So we're doing some great things with that money. Just keep it coming. Okay, hold on. She wants to tell us about her experience.
Okay, so my name is Dominique Parker. I'm 15 years old, and this is my first year as a junior counselor at Community Bible Baptist Church Salute Camp. My experience there, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I have been at Community Bible for like 9 years. My mom put me in the summer camp when I was like 6. So I have a lot of experience with like dealing with the kids and being a kid, and just it was a lot. So this past summer I taught 2nd and 3rd graders, and that was a lot. And I also taught, I had to teach the other junior counselors like what to do and what to expect while being there, because of how long I had been at the summer camp. So I knew like the role and the play, like what to do. So, I'm a little nervous. Like 2 summers ago, I was just going in and I was talking to one of the little kids, and they had told him what my name was, and he never got my name right. So now all the kids, they call me Momanique because that D just wouldn't get through to him. But they still call me that. They look for me every summer, every time. Like if I'm not there, as soon as the summer camp start, they be calling my mama. What Dominique? What Dominique? But I do be ready to go back. I will be back next year for sure. Every year, probably. Yeah, every year. But yeah, I really enjoyed my time, and I thank you for this experience.
Oh, awesome. So we would like to thank you guys and thank Mom for getting her to work on time and making sure that she has his experience. This is what gets to be added to the resume early on. So keep up the good work, Dominique. Yes. We have one more testimony. Yeah, give her a clap.
Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing? Well, I'm a little nervous up here. This past summer, I had 3 kids with me. It was unexpected. It was something I did not think that I was going to be doing with 3 kids over the summer after working all year with the students at my high school. So I got a call from my friend with 3 kids. She said, I need your help. I need your help right now. She has an 8, 11, and a 13-year-old. At that moment, she was homeless. She was living out of her vehicle. I said, okay, bring them to me. I had 2.5 days notice. I still was at work, and they had ended school. So I had about a week left at work. So I said, well, go ahead and bring them to me, and we'll figure it out from there. So she brought the kids to me. They stayed the entire summer, not knowing what I was going to do. If any educators in here, you know that either you choose deferred pay or non-deferred pay. I had non-deferred pay. So that means I bear the burden of them all summer. But I thank God, because God provided. God provided in every way, food, clothing. God provided. People gave. When I said I needed, they gave. So I heard the announcement on Interdenominational Faith Assembly's announcement about Camp Quest. I said, okay, I would like them to go, but I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and fill out the application. Judy Jackson said, but just fill out the application. We'll figure it out from here. I said, okay, I'll go with that. Not knowing that I was going to get a blessing. I was expecting to come up with something or either pay a little bit later. But Cadav paid for 3 kids. Everything. Everything. I didn't have to pay for anything. And I just thank God continuously for providing in their lives. And they are a testimony to me of what God can do in a time of trouble. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And that's what we do. So there's always, I always say, a ram in the bush. Never give up. You may give out, but don't give up. And so we're honored to be able to bless a family that needed to put their babies in summer camp so that they could continue to have a good time for the summer, just in spite of what they were going through. And so Camp Quest is a STEM camp where they teach the children science and technology, and they go to Houston and they go to Alabama and Galveston, and it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. So we are looking to expand that to another week and then expand that to more children. So this is just awesome to hear how we are helping folk even when we don't know how we're helping folks. So thank you. Judy called me and said that there was a mom that wanted to share how special it was for Cadav to actually reach out and help. And so that was not part of the program, but thank you, because we need to hear that. We want to know how we're doing as well. Okay, so we are ready for our presentation. So our next, are we ready, Wayne? Our first honoree is Sadie Roberts Joseph, which is my aunt, and her daughter Angela is here with us today, and her granddaughter Leah. And so we had someone to put together this presentation for us, which depicts very nicely with a nice song about our Aunt Sadie.
In a world like today, it's a rare occasion to be able to see young mothers like the ones that were around when I grew up. But they live on in memory to quite a few of us. And this song is dedicated to those who cherish that memory. Early one Sunday morning, breakfast was on the table. There was no time to eat. She said to me, boy, hurry to Sunday school, filled with a Lord of glory. We learned the holy story, standing the worst of times, breaking the binds with just a simple song. Oh, Sadie Mae,
don't you know
still loving us all in your special way. Well, well, well,
there's no one above you,
sweet Sadie, living in the past. Oh, she's never sinning. In love, she's always winning, yeah.
Because she loved us all. We were all family.
You know we love you,
I love you, girl.
there's no one
I just can't forget how you gave me love. Oh, Lord. If there's a heaven up above, I know she's teaching angels how to love. It's a mean world without you. All the love you show, oh, how could anyone
She worked so hard. She pushed. She got everything that she could out of the 75 years that she lived.
I'm all alone, I miss her so well.
Don't you know we love you,
I love you, mama.
Place no one above you, sweet.
Let me just try one more time and say and though we were very poor, she tried to love us that much more. Oh,
Sweet.
have you ever,
You know we love
have you ever met Sadie?
Place no one above you, sweet.
The premier of ladies. Oh, sometimes I feel so alone, but I know that I gotta go on. It's what she wanted from me.
You know we love you, sweet.
I know it's gonna be hard sometimes.
Place no one above you, sweet.
Oh, Sadie. Lord, although my mama's no longer here, her memory still lingers near. Ah, just let me run, let me go.
You know we
Don't
love
you?
you, sweet.
Why you wanna make me feel so down? Well, this feeling won't let me be. I'm gonna keep on moving. I'm gonna try to keep.
But for those who were and are angry, live a better life. Give of yourself to your community to make the whole better.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sadie Wallace-Joseph. I think we should have done this one last.
Where's the big elephant in the room? How about we just clap and say thank you?
Yes. Sadie Roberts Joseph served East Baton Rouge Parish and its communities for over 50 years. In 1991, Sadie passionately created and rebirth of the cultural Juneteenth celebration while serving as director of Zion City Glen Oaks Community Park Center. In her appointment as Louisiana representative, now East Baton Rouge Parish Mayor President Sharon Reston Broom, the special election created a day of recognition throughout the city of Louisiana. Continuously, she sought out a variety of avenues to create a national Juneteenth holiday. Roberts Joseph was instrumental in orchestrating an opening of the Delmont Service Center in Baton Rouge and served as its first director. She also founded the Baton Rouge only African American Museum, where she faithfully served as founder and curator of the beloved Odell S. Williams, now and then African American Museum. She's our founder for Community Against Drugs and Violence. We miss her. And at this time, our unsung hero, Sadie Roberts Joseph.
So we have certificate of recognition from the governor. Also, Councilwoman Wicker. From Mayor Sharon Weston Broom. And also Representative Patricia Haynes Smith. Thank you.
A lifelong resident of Baton Rouge, he was born in 1946 to Iverson and Neil Nolan. Iverson became a bishop of the Episcopal Diocese of Louisiana in 1952, and he remained bishop until his death in 1975. The home John grew up in was one full of love and tolerance for all. He married Virginia Bailey in 1967, and at the age of 21, they recently celebrated their 52nd anniversary. Mr. John has served this community in community development. He began his work in 1986 with the chairman of the local advisory board of LISC, the Local Initiative Support Corporation. Since about its 13 year of existence, he showed more than a top approach was needed for Baton Rouge, and the EBR Redevelopment Authority was established at that time under the Act of the Louisiana Legislative in 2006. Mr. John served as the chair until this year, and he continues to believe that community redevelopment work is much needed in Baton Rouge to reverse many disenfranchised and blighted communities that's been forgotten in a lot of our neighborhoods. We would like to thank Mr. Nolan for investing in and igniting the leaders of our community for 25 years now, as we continue to carry the torch. Today, we're celebrating his 10th hours monthly for a total of 120 annually for 33 years, totaling over 3,960 volunteer hours and over 80,000 in kind services to the betterment of his community. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me award today our unsung hero, John Nolan. Ladies and gentlemen, again, Mr. John Nolan.
If you ever want to wonder why, people that know me, what gives me the drive to do what I do, Mr. Nolan took a group of us on a plane to Kansas City and also to Philadelphia to see what they were doing in their city that looked like Baton Rouge 25 years ago. And I want him to know that that vision has stuck in my mind. And I'm believing that North Baton Rouge can one day do just what those cities are doing. We went to Houston before they even had the rail. We saw them put in the rail, and now they're riding the rail. I don't know what's going on with us. 30 years. And still, you see just a little movement. But I'm telling you, you know what I know, that in other cities, they are rocking it. And it's time for us to get up off it and rock it. Thank you, Mr. Nolan.
Katrina Dabney.
I just wanted to say it's you that deserve the thanks.
Katrina Dabney, who lives in the Banks community, where she has made the school children a priority for her. She's the daughter of Mary Dabney, and she is one of 3 girls. Katrina has been a dispatcher with Southern University Police Department for 5 years. She started and named her back-to-school supply drive the Katrina Dabney Back-to-School Drive. She finds joy in giving back to her community for supplying school supplies at her Fun Day event. She also volunteers with summer enrichment programs and serves as the community chair co-chair, and cheer coach, and volunteer at a variety of different senior centers, celebrating 3,500 service hours for the last 5 years for a total of $70,000 in-kind revenue. Ladies and gentlemen, Katrina Dabney.
That I named earlier has come from each of the governor, State Representative Patricia Haynes, also Senator Regina Barrow, and Councilwoman Tara Banks, and Councilwoman Tara Banks. You know we have two councilmen, right? So they split our community in half. Like we already don't have problems already. That's right. I have two councilwomen. Thank you. And I just want to say, Katrina, we are so proud of you. You started 5 years ago, and how old are you now? I'm 30. You're 30 now. So at 25, you started giving back to your community. Yeah, give it up. Katrina started with Cadav, our very first Christmas parade. We did a Miss Banks pageant because we wanted to showcase the young ladies in our community. And she is our very first little Miss Banks. So anybody keeping stats going on, you can see what happens with 30 years of investment in a young person.
Wow.
Reverend Kevin Cryer. He's a minister, consultant, painter, welder, pipe fitter, coordinator, community organizer, community activist, agent for change, and enjoys gardening and community cleanups. Reverend Cryer is a former SU marching band jukebox member. He is also a member of Kappa Kappa Psi fraternity, and he works with the Walls Project, Community Against Drugs and Violence, Together Baton Rouge, and Metamorphosis. He is affiliated with Jeep, a blight ministry, through Star Hill Church, the Greenville Extension, and Eden Park Ministry. Their mission is to assist in the removal of trash and debris from blighting properties in his community, and to repurpose these properties and redevelop them for a better community. Celebrating 2,400 service hours for the last 10 years for a total of $48,000 in-kind revenue. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a hand to Reverend Kelvin Cryer.
I just learned that he was a pastor. I mean, not a pastor, but a reverend, a minister, because he has been in the trenches with us, digging down. And most times you don't get, no disrespect, but you don't get them at that level. And so he's cutting grass and digging with us. And then when I asked for his bio, I since learned that he's 100%. You know, he's actually the minister for the youth Bible study. And so we actually work with the Walls Project in cleanups. And we're on cleanup 75. Wow. Okay, 75 cleanups. So thank you, Brother Clark. Right.
Robert Allen Lands, a long-time Scotlandville resident of Scotlandville community. He attended Scotlandville Magnet High School, which was Scotlandville High School at the time, and he has spent the last 28 years as a community coach and an umpire for the games at Anna T. Jordan Breck Center. 15 years of just tireless hours as a leader of the chain gang with Scotlandville Magnet High School football team. He's volunteered and assisted in organizations of the Southern University softball team from its inception, celebrating 30 years of service at 7,200 service hours for a total of 144,000 in-kind revenue hours. Ladies and gentlemen, our unsung hero, Robert Allen Land.
Hello, everyone. Come here, Robert. A lot of people know Robert as Tootsie, right? Robert actually began working at the George A. Newman, which at the time was the North Baton Rouge Community Center, as a teenager. Were you 17 or 18? At age 18. He was hired as a student worker. When I was elected in 2013, Robert's status was still a student worker, an atrocity. So for 40 years, Robert has been at the George A. Newman Community Center at 7 in the morning to 7 in the afternoon, and much later when we have events to 12 and 1 o'clock. The definition of an unsung hero is someone that does incredible deeds without any recognition. And I don't think if there's any sacrifice than a man who works with that kind of commitment under the circumstances and the salary of a student worker. Wow. Robert is now a civil service employee. If there's anything that I would like to see happen, is that we would reverse the time, the 45 years of service to the city of Baton Rouge, that he be compensated based on those years. Yes. So I do need y'all to pray for me. It is absolutely he is a precious man. When it talks about authority, he knows authority. And he is highly respected throughout our community, and just a loving free spirit, does not know the word no. So thank you all, Pat, for honoring my dear friend and all of our friends, Robert Allen Lane.
Perry met Thomas. He's happily married and worked with FlowServe Corporation and in the senior nuclear sales from 1979 to 2002. Beginning in 2006, he worked with the Louisiana Senior Olympics Games. Most of his volunteer hours have been spent spearheading and working with University Lakes Improvement and the preservation team for 12 years, averaging about 50 hours annually. He and his team of volunteers have worked tirelessly for nearly 4 years to maintain the Lutheran Cemetery, averaging about 75 hours annually as well. Through his blight elimination efforts, he has removed thousands of tires from various of vacant lots across the city. He's affiliated with LSU Tennis, the Walls Project, Operation Fresh Start with the Mayor's Office, Red Cross, Breck Green Team, and Community Against Drugs and Violence. He also volunteers his time with GBRCTA and the Capital Area Transit Boards, celebrating 2,675 service hours over the last 12 years with a total of 54,000 in-kind revenue. Ladies and gentlemen, our unsung hero, Perry Matt Thomas.
Walls project where we go around boarding up buildings. We pressure wash them, we board them up, and then we paint them. Some people like the murals and some people don't like the murals. But I say if you don't like the mural, then use it as a prime and cover it.
Yeah.
Right? So because it looks better than it looked before, and say, well, they're going to tear it down. Well, it's okay that they tear it down because somebody wanted it to look good just for a moment. So Perry, we had our cleanup coming, and Perry said, I want to help. And he brought his lawnmower, his weed eater, and all of his tools in his car. And he took a section, and he said, Pat, you assign folk over here, and then I'm going to take care of this. So those are the type of volunteers that you want on your team. People that are coming to give and not to take. Okay, so I want to commend you for the work you've done. He even had one of his weed eaters borrowed. So, we have issues. Okay, we have issues. But through that, what I said that to say, don't use excuses. Just press on. Just press on, no matter what. So, Perry, thank you for always coming to rescue us in Scotland.
Dorothy Hawkins Jarvis, known as Dot Jarvis. Dot was married. Okay, everybody on my right side, I'm going to just tell you why they so deep. They got 5 tables over there, so y'all just keep looking. Because it look like it's a lot of them, because it is, all right? All right. Miss Dorothy Hawkins Jarvis, known as Dot Jarvis. All that know her as Miss Dot. Miss Dot was married to the late Aaron John Jarvis, Jr., and she's the proud mother of 3 children. She has 8 grandchildren, 3 great-grandchildren, 3 brothers, and 1 sister. She has been employed with the Louisiana House of Representatives for some 30 years, and she is still an intricate part of the government of Louisiana. In the year of 1972, Ms. Dot became an intricate member of the New Light Missionary Baptist Church, where her current pastor, Dr. Gil H. Wright, currently resides. She is a member of the Sanctuary Singing Choir and in the key of X, Y, or Z. Or something like that, they say. She is dedicated, though, and she has strategically coordinated these annual community events and put countless hours into assuring their success. New Light Annual Community Basketball Tournament, known as the Heavenly Hoops. New Light Missionary Baptist Church Annual Community Family and Friends Oscar and Wall of Fame Awards Day program, and the New Light Annual Community Old School Cars, Trucks, Corvettes, and Motorcycle Show. Over the last 27 years, she has averaged about 10 hours per month to help us celebrate while we're here today, for a total of 3,240 volunteer hours at $20 an hour, at 20 hours per month. She has totaled $64,800 in-kind revenue. Ladies and gentlemen, our unsung hero, Miss Dorothy Hawkins Jarvis, also known as Miss Dot Jarvis.
Let me go first. Well, let me just say to everyone, I have known Miss Dot long before I was ever elected because I worked within the mayor when she was the state representative. And Ms. Dot has always been giving back, always been a part of the community, and very integral in terms of her role even in the legislature. But what really gets me is when her health failed her. And you would have thought that she would have hung up her hat and not actually had the event that particular year. But she pressed her way, made sure that those individuals who have been shining in our community to ensure that they were being recognized. And so I am here to celebrate with her because she always gives back more than she ever received.
I'm Reverend Gil Wright. I am Sister Dr. Jarvis' pastor when she's not over an event. When she's over an event, she pastors me. She tells me what she needs to be done, and I tell her whatever you need to get done, I will get it done. But I'm going to tell you, she is very humble. When they got to the point when they were going to give this, she called me up and said, they're trying to do a hero's welcome. I don't want it. I said, well, Doc, you deserve it. You deserve it for all the hard work that you do. But she didn't want it. So we finally convinced her to come home and enjoy this day because she deserved it. On behalf of New Life, we'll be giving you some change. All the friends and all New Life, give God a shout out.
Robert Joseph and Pat, they would take care of me in the community as a young state representative. This is who took care of me at the state capitol and then in the state senate. She even helped me across the hall. And she brings me back. Now what I will do is I'll come and pray for the Family and Friends Day. But over the last few years, I haven't been able to do the basketball.
Reverend Thomas F. Clark. Father Clark has served as Boston City Hospital chaplain from 1983 to 1987, chaplain of the HIV clinic 1986 to 1990, and St. Francis de Sales St. Philip Church, Roxbury, Boston, Massachusetts. In 1992 through 1995, and now pastor of Immaculate Conception Church here in Baton Rouge since 2006. He has 2 brothers and lots of cousins. He is affiliated with Together Baton Rouge, Community Against Drugs and Violence, the KFC Lot Cleanup Initiative, Racial Harmony Commission, Red Cross After Katrina, 2016 Flood Relief at Immaculate Conception, and the Immaculate Conception Food Pantry, celebrating 1,628 service hours for the last 13 years for a total of 32,500 in-kind revenue hours. Ladies and gentlemen, our unsung hero, Reverend Thomas F. Clark.
He says, Pat, I'm a pastor. I'm supposed to do all that. I said, but all the pastors are not doing all that. So I said, you got to let us honor you because he makes sure his congregation, his parishioners, do what they're supposed to do in the community. They adopted the old Kentucky Fried Chicken, and their church now keeps all that site clean. They go out on weekends. We don't have to go over there anymore because they have adopted it, and he and his church take care of it. Isn't that awesome?
family that live here in Louisiana, but you have been everything to us. My brother was your best friend, and he had come to Louisiana to work with you. But of course, God saw something else, and he passed away before he got the opportunity. But I want to take this time to present these cards to you. Each and every one has written on it what you have meant to not just Leon Henderson, but to the entire family. And these are from all of the family. They couldn't be here because they are everywhere, as you know. But you're my little brother now. And I'll always love you. The entire family will always love you for everything that you did for us during the Unsung. Thank you.
My name is Andrea Tolles, and I'm one of the proud parishioners of Immaculate Conception Catholic Church. Within this time of knowing Father Clark, I know I say on behalf of my parishioners, he is a true humble servant of God. He is not only your friend, he is your pastor, he is your prayer warrior. Father Clark works relentlessly, and his motto is, what can I do? What can I do to help you? As a matter of fact, when Father Clark leaves here, he's headed to go see one of his sick parishioners. He's never off the clock. Father Clark, thank you. You are more than a friend. You are that uncle and that stepfather. So thank you. I appreciate you. All of us appreciate you.
As not to belay the meeting, Father Clark, if I was Catholic, this would be my pastor. Father, I live in a subdivision where I'm surrounded by persons that are Catholic and attend Immaculate Conception. There is not a week that passed that his car is not in their driveway where he's seeing about them, having dinner with them, praying for them. I think he's an honorary Jaguar because if you don't see him dressed like this, he has on blue and gold Southern University apparel, but his footprint is all over our community. And that's what I love about Father Clark. He's never he gets all kind of stuff from Tony's and take it to his brother for Christmas for gumbo. But other than that, he is always around our community, and I just love Father Clark. Our church, Westgate, prays the first Sunday of every month on the bluff, and before you know it, you see Father Clark. Thank you so much.
All right. Now he's got a couple of tables over there. Y'all clap it up a little bit now. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up.
Mr. Franklin Brown, self-employed, Bayou Cafe of Louisiana. Since 2000, 19 total years, he himself and Mrs. Brown have owned and ran the Bayou Cafe on Airline Highway. Blue-collar construction from 1982 to 1999, employed with retail jewelry companies, Kroger food stores, Con Turner, all prior to Bayou Cafe. He's married to Louise Brown, who works by his side daily and encourages their customers every day to serve their communities and make a difference. His community organization affiliates are North Baton Rouge Chamber, the North Baton Rouge Economic Development, the 1888 Society, Baton Rouge Police Department, Thanksgiving, Southern University Football Coaching, Weekly Practice Meals, Elderly Feeding Programs, and the annual SHS, that's Scotlandville High School, Basketball Banquet, celebrating 300 annual service hours for the last 15 years, for a total of 4,500 hours and $90,000 in-kind revenue. Ladies and gentlemen, our unsung heroes, Mr. and Mrs. Frank and Louise Brown.
Yes, real briefly. I just want to let everybody know that Mr. Brown has certainly been a star in our community, going over and beyond to give back. Many people don't even know the half of the things that he actually do in terms of serving our community, give it to the university, give it to our local schools, making a difference wherever he can. And I just want to say how much I thank and appreciate you. When I look at Baton Rouge North Economic Development District, I attribute that to Mr. Frank Brown. He's been talking about economic development in our community for many, many years. And many folks don't realize that he is the cornerstone behind the movement that you see in North Baton Rouge, and we thank you.
I just want to let everybody know that I've been knowing Ms. Brown, Mr. Brown also, since the 70s. When I came to work at the dialysis center, she's a nurse. And I need to be trained for dialysis and how to put people on the dialysis machine. And this is the person who trained me. So I've been knowing, I know quite a bit. And I was young, and not so young in age, but young as far as dialysis is concerned. And then she was so instrumental, and I had to stick the needle in the patient, and she said, go ahead. You know, she was so encouraging to me. So I would like to thank her for everything she's done in the medical field.
I want to let everybody know that all of the awards that they're giving me and the compliments that they're giving me, I couldn't have done it without this lady. She has been my rock. She has been by my side 100%. So I just want to let you all know.
Hallelujah.
So at this time, my mom always says, support the people who support you. So I want to call out all of our sponsors, whether they're present or not. Coca-Cola, City of Baton Rouge, Mayor Sharon Weston Broom, Breck, Go Get Healthy, Collective Healing, BRPD, and Love in Arms, Posh Meat Chic, ExxonMobil, EMR, Southern Scrap, Southern Grind Coffee, The Walls Project, IHOP, Harding, Smoothie King, Harding, United Healthcare, Councilwoman Tyra Wicker, Shauna Banks, Senator Regina Barrow, State Representative Barbara Carpenter and Denise Marcel, East Echo Services, Solvay, Mayor of Baker, Mr. Darnell Waits, Blue Water Rubber and Gasket, Mr. Ronald LeBeau, Perry Franklin, and State Farm with Mr. Danny Harper.
Clap it up for our sponsors. This has been an awesome event, and thank you so much for coming out, and know that every dime that we get returns back to the community. So there is no overhead for us because we all volunteers. So as soon as everybody get on the same page with that, they'll understand that we can get a lot done with free people, and we do good work. Meeting and dues, thank you. So we meet every fourth Tuesday at the Scotlandville Library. We have met there for 17 years. We have never canceled except for 2 times when it was Mardi Gras.
So we will always be there, even if it's just me and Bailey or my mom. So I want to thank Cadav. If you could stand and come forward so that people can see quickly, who are the people in the trenches that make all of this happen. And while you're coming, I want to recognize my grandbaby, Bailey Monet Galloway. She has already put in 50 hours of volunteer. She's at every cleanup. She's at every meeting. She does the sign-in table. And if you've ever been to one of our meetings, you won't get away unless you provide all of the information. She's going to tell you, you need to phone number, please, your zip code, please. So I am so thankful that you guys have chose to be with us this afternoon. And I would like to present Bailey with her certificate of appreciation for all of the volunteer hours. And to all of our little babies that volunteered today, if you got cake and they brought you cake, we're raising them up. And I encourage you, the babies in your family, get them going. They are asking too much of us, okay? We need to teach them to give. Give. Make those babies do chores around the house and make them do things around the house. We're doing too much for them. You're ruining them. They need to work. So Bailey, this is for you. Thank you. And I also want to thank my daughter Ebony Pashmishi. If you have any parties going on, she's an excellent event planner. Please give her a call. Presentation.
Okay. How's everybody? I just wanted to, it's always good to see leadership at its best. And if you don't know Pat and her husband, you realize that they really work hard. I know they have a staff, but a lot of times they just work. And on behalf of the city of Baker, Pat, I just wanted to recognize you and give you a certificate of recognition. And here my representative, Cadav. It says with grateful appreciation for your outstanding and dedicated service to the community. And it's presented by the Mayor of Baker, and it's signed on this day. And also, we only have 100 coins that we made with the City of Baker logo and my name on it. It doesn't mean a lot, but it means a lot. It comes from the heart. I want you to do that. You're part of the coin club. And I want you to know that, Pat, that organizations like yours are in every city, and because of this organization and people like you, that this man is next to you right now. I'm a product of the streets, and because of people like you in my neighborhoods in Jacksonville, Florida, I'm standing here right now, so I want to thank you for everything you do.
Now we got you, Pat.
So I just want to say, so I have another sister. I have to say that because my mom was the one that was always left out, because her mom had 2 daughters and she was away and her sister was here. So nobody knew she existed for a long time. So I have to say, I have a sister, Erica Cherry, and she's a mechanical engineer. She's actually in Spain. So I have to say that so that everybody knows it's not just me. Although a lot of times I feel like it's just me. But what I want to say to you today is, and this came to me yesterday, and I don't exactly know why, and I got emotional, earlier for Auntie Sadie because I was Bailey's age, right? About Bailey's age or Harper's age. They're 4 and 9, my babies, when Aunt Sadie and my mom were meeting at our home to start the organization. So I'm a product of Community Against Drugs and Violence, inadvertently, not really voluntarily, but I gotta be here. You know what I mean? I enjoy it, I love it, I'm glad that I've cut from the cloth that I have, but it's a lot of work. Y'all know that, okay? So I want to say thank you. I want to tell you that I love you. And yesterday what came to me is oftentimes unsung heroes are people who really put the work in. We find ourselves laying down tracks, right? Because one day we're looking for a big light and train to come through those tracks, right? So if you could think about yourself just laying down the tracks, 30 years, 10 years, 20 years, and you're still laying down the tracks and you're waiting on this train, right? Train full of people, this big machine to come through and come on down the track, right? Because then that means that your efforts were not gone unnoticed. But sometimes it's a little girl on a bicycle with a little flashlight. And when that train doesn't come, she comes. And I want you to know, I'm going to always be that little girl on a bicycle. And if the train comes, great. But if it doesn't, I'm going to be right there. And it may be a tunnel that's far away with a small little light. But the closer it gets, the brighter it gets. And I'll be right there with you.
My name is Katrina Dabney. I've been a part of this community for a while, a part of Cadav probably since I was younger. Growing up, just from seeing the things that they were giving towards the community, it led me and motivated me to also want to be a part and give back to the community as well.
Hi, my name is Angela Roberts-Machin. I am the daughter of Sadie Roberts-Joseph. It's very meaningful to us to have her recognized here today for all the hard work that she did to bring about unity in the Baton Rouge community, and to honor her many, many years of public service.
The group got together and decided to give me an award tonight. It was very unexpected. It was given to me by the mayor of Baker, Mayor Waits, and I am indeed elated to receive the award and a nice coin that only 100 were made, and I have actually, in my possession, I have one, and it's really, really exciting that people took the time out to say thank you. Not that I even feel like that it's deserving, but I'm so appreciative of it. It was quite a surprise. And thank you to the City of Baker for acknowledging the work that we're doing. And we are willing to partner with you to come and help you turn Baker around. Blight elimination is what it's all about. Thank you and have a good night.